Hey guys, big welcome to our Minnesota Twins franchise. It's episode number 204. We are in year number 4 of this Twins franchise, games 110 through 112 on the road in Arlington at Globe Life Park, I believe it is, to face the Texas Rangers. The Rangers coming in first place in the American League West at 62-48, one game ahead of the Angels, and we are passing the trade deadline here in July. And the month is turning to August. You look at some numbers there for the two teams. We come in at 42-67, and we continue to move along here in this Minnesota Twins franchise. I know that it is a very slow-moving franchise. We move at a turtle's pace, and that is intentional. I understand that it might not be for everybody. It may not move fast enough for everybody, but it is what it is. And I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe and get into this franchise one episode at a time. That's how we do it here, one episode at a time. Jose Barrios is going to take the hill in this first game against the Texas Rangers. He will face Alejandro Castro. He is 7-1 with a 3.36 ERA, a 1.20 WHIP. In making just his 12th start of the season. Let's get some highlights going here in the first inning. Miguel Sano, 278 hitter, 30 home runs, 4th in the American League, and 63 driven in, and he's going to line this one over the third baseman's head. Runner rounding third, heading to the plate, and just barely making it is Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli comes in to score. The Twins jump out to an early lead after just a half an inning. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Former Twin, who we just traded to the Rangers, Will Myers, for Brad Hickman, Mark Kirby, and Delino DeShields Jr. And Will Myers swings and misses against his former teammate. Has a few words for him here. At the end of one inning, it's still 1-0 Minnesota with the lead. We go to the third. Didi Gregorius, the Rangers just traded for him this season as well from the Yankees. 207 hitter. And he's going to lift this one into left field with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Eddie Rosario is there, ends the inning. It's still 1-0 Minnesota. Jose Barrios having another good outing here early, 5th inning. Francisco Cervelli, 327, 5 home runs, 27 RBIs. Runner on first, and Cervelli's going to drive this one deep to left field, and that one's going to get over the head of the left fielder, Nomar Mazara. And a runner is going to come around and score from first without a throw. Francisco Cervelli with the RBI double. And halfway through the ball game, the Twins lead it 2-0. Catcher Brian Holiday now in the bottom of the inning. With runners on first and second and nobody out, he's going to line it down the left field line. That one's going to head into the corner. Rosario hesitates a little bit and then has to chase it into the corner and dig it out. And that will allow 2 runs to come in to score, and the Rangers tie it up at 2 apiece at the end of the 5th. We move to the 6th inning. Eddie Rosario, 0 for 2 on the day, batting .249 on the season. With a runner on first, and Eddie Rosario clobbers that one to right field. And that one is up there into the second deck. 12th home run of the year for Eddie Rosario. It's a 2-run blast. And it gives the Twins a 4-2 lead. And we're going to take a look, since this game was on MLB Network, we're going to take a look at the show track here from Eddie Rosario. 111.4 miles per hour, 23.41 degree launch angle. 5.35 seconds in the air, projected distance 460 feet. That was a moonshot from the bat of Eddie Rosario. 12th home run of the season for him, middle of the 6th. It's 4-2. We're going to jump ahead now to the 9th inning. Kevin Segrist on, looking for save number 29 on the year. He's got a 2.30 ERA. He's having another fantastic year, maybe not quite as dominant as last season, but still all-star caliber numbers for Kevin Segrist, who was in fact an all-star. This is Stefan Pena. He's going to drive it to center field with a runner on third, tagging and coming in to score with 2 outs. The lead has been cut to 1. And the other runner was held at first. So here is catcher Brian Holiday, the last chance for the Rangers with 2 outs. And a runner on first, a 3-2 pitch. And this one is hit into shallow center field. Buxton coming on makes the catch. And Kevin Segrist earns the save. And the Twins win the opener of this series. The Rangers lead the season series 3-2. Barrios goes 5 innings, giving up 6 hits. Had 8 strikeouts on the day with 2 earned runs and no walks. For the Twins, Rosario with a 2-run home run. Francisco Cervelli with an RBI double. And Miguel Sano with an RBI. Jace Peterson 2 for 4 with a triple on the day as well for us. Game number 111. Jose De Leon facing Yu Darvish. And the Rangers come away with a 3-1 victory in this one. Yu Darvish goes 7 innings, giving up 2 hits with 10 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 1 earned run. In this game, Jose De Leon threw 2 pitches and then had to leave with a shoulder injury. And we'll get to that in just a second. For the Rangers, Will Myers went 1 for 4 with a home run against his former club, a 2-run home run at that. Joey Gallo chipped in an RBI, and Rougned Odor went 3 for 4. Back to the injury to Jose De Leon. Jose De Leon with a dislocated shoulder. He is going to be out for 1 to 2 months, and the Twins are shutting him down, putting him on the 60-day injured list, and that will end the season for Jose De Leon. So he joins Emilio Bonifacio on the 60-day, and we have Mario Calero on the 10-day. And we have called up Brad Hickman from AAA Rochester. He was one of the pieces that came over from the Rangers in that Will Myers trade. He is 70 overall. He's 21 years old. This will be his major league debut, and he's just nothing really stands out, just a solid overall pitcher. And we'll see how he does in the majors. Justin Cox now, as we head down to the farm on AA, we're going to take a look at Justin Cox, one of the hardest throwers in all of baseball, a velocity of 98 with a lot of movement, 91. And he does not give up home runs, but he does struggle with his control. So we're going to take a look at Justin Cox. He'll be the starter in this game. Has a couple of badges or quirks, whatever you want to call them. First off, is an extremely strong throwing arm. That's obvious. He throws 97, 98 miles an hour, and he excels at limiting home runs. And this is going to be game number 44 for the Chattanooga Lookouts, who are 23-20, chasing the Jackson Generals in the Southern League. Eric Washington will go for the Birmingham Barons in this one. Eric Washington, equally hard thrower, maybe even a little bit harder thrower than Justin Cox. Justin Cox was around 97, 98 all day, and Eric Washington for the Barons was hitting triple digits on a number of high fastballs. So let's get some of the highlights started here in the first inning. This is Keon Barnum for the Birmingham Barons with the runner on second and 2 outs, and Barnum swings through the low fastball 96 miles an hour from Justin Cox. Middle of the first inning, no score. Keon Barnum was a central figure in this game. It's kind of funny sometimes how one player will just seem to always be up in these key situations when I make these videos. So here is Jake Hager, the shortstop for the Chattanooga Lookouts, and he's going to strike out looking. Jake Hager was just added to the 40-man roster in anticipation of possibly calling him up in September for September call-ups. Keon Barnum, again, Keon Barnum, 279 hitter. With the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the third inning, delivery from Justin Cox. This one is grounded through the left side. 1 run will come in to score, and the bases will remain loaded for the Barons. And Barnum has an RBI single. Next batter is Yudi Pena. And with the bases loaded, Pena is going to drive this one to right field. That one will be caught out there by Vlad Jr. He will get it back in, but it will be offline up the first baseline, and the Birmingham Barons jump out to a 2-0 lead at the middle of the third. We go to the 5th inning. This is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We picked him up in a trade as well from the Miami Marlins. And he's going to swing through the high cutter. So this pitcher for Birmingham, he was throwing some high heat in the triple digits. He was also throwing a 96-mile-an-hour cutter. It was just brutal. And then an 85-mile-an-hour changeup. So he had some pretty tough stuff to hit. Here's a ground ball left side. Jake Hager starts the double play on to Bucky Workman at second. And then to first. Middle of the 6th inning, it's still Birmingham 2, Chattanooga 0. We go to the bottom of the inning. This is Lewin Diaz, 259 hitter with nobody on and one out. And Lewin Diaz looks at the 97-mile-an-hour fastball off the plate. I don't think the umpire truly saw that one because it was not a strike. But Lewin Diaz is rung up anyway. We go to the 7th inning, and we did make Washington throw a lot of pitches, so it did chase him from the ball game. And here's Adrian, what was his name? Hernandez? Adrian Hernandez facing Trey Cabbage in the 7th. And he hits Trey Cabbage with one out, puts him on first. And that opens the door for Chattanooga and Bucky Workman, a 252 hitter. On a 2-0 count, Bucky Workman sitting dead red, and he drives this one deep to left center field. That one is off the scoreboard, and it will tie the game up at 2. Bucky Workman, second baseman for the Chattanooga Lookouts, drives one deep to left. We're all tied up at 2 at the end of the 7th inning. It's going to be a good finish here at this AA venue, Industry something stadium that we play at here in Chattanooga. This is Luis Gohara relieving Justin Cox, the lefty-on-lefty matchup here against who else but Keon Barnum. And Keon Barnum is going to drive this one to right field, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just watches it go over his head, doesn't move a muscle, and Keon Barnum puts the Barons up 3-2 in the 8th inning off of Luis Gohara. So a lot of players featured here that were draft picks of ours. Luis Gohara was one. Also, the starter Justin Cox was a draft pick. Here's Darrell Bailey, Birmingham Barons closer, facing Herman Dylevski in the bottom of the 9th inning with a runner on first and 2 outs. The delivery, Dylevski drives it deep to left field. That one is going back at the track, at the wall, and it is gone. Dylevski with a 2-run walk-off home run, and Chattanooga is in the win column again. Come from behind, bottom of the 9th, walk-off victory for the Chattanooga Lookouts. And catcher Herman Dylevski, I think he hit a home run last time we did a Chattanooga game in this series. Doesn't have the quickest swing in the world, a little bit long and drawn out. But Herman Dylevski gets us back in the win column again. We are 24-20, one game behind the Jackson Generals in the Southern League. What would that be? The West Division of the Southern League, probably? I think it's the West Division. Anyway, Barnum goes 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs for them. Dylevski hits a home run. Bucky Workman also hit a home run for us. And we go to the 3rd and final game of this series with the Rangers. It's Felix Jorge against Javi Vizcaíno, and the Rangers drub us. 11-5, the Rangers win the season series, 5-2. Javi Vizcaíno for Texas goes 8 innings, gives up 4 hits, has 12 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and 3 walks. Javi Vizcaíno for the Rangers was an American League All-Star as well. Jace Peterson went 2 for 5 with a home run, a double, and 3 RBIs. Notable player for us. Let's finish off this episode by looking at the standings in the American League. Your division leaders are the Red Sox, the Tigers, and the Texas Rangers, who we just played. The Tigers at 72-41 have the best record in the American League. The White Sox and the Angels would be your 2 wild card teams, with the White Sox being, actually, I've got that backwards. The White Sox would be wild card number 2, and the Angels would be wild card number 1 by virtue of a couple more wins at 63-50. So the Angels and the White Sox would be your wild card teams. We sit down there at 28.5 games back. I think our season is effectively over as far as any playoff hopes are concerned. Let's look at the National League. Washington, Chicago, and the San Francisco Giants are your division leaders. And the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks are your 2 wild card teams. I forgot to unhighlight the Marlins. So the Marlins are not tied with the D-backs any longer. It's just the Dodgers and the D-backs in the 2 wild card spots. Disregard the Marlins in blue over there, but the Marlins are 4.5 back in the National League East and not far off the pace, just like half a game behind the Diamondbacks in the wild card. So that is season number 4, episode number 204. Games 110 through 112. Next up, we're on the road in Seattle to take on the Mariners here on the Moldy Cheese Baseball Network.